Missy Brooks, one of the most respected officials in the country, will toss the ball up. As we mentioned, she worked with Tom Halid and Nicole Brannon, and we are set for action. And there should be plenty of that this afternoon. Bear and Czinano jump, and the opening tap batted around, controlled by the Bulldogs.
Looked like one of the volleyball games you've been calling here over the last few months.
It certainly did. Here's Bear at the top of the circle. Czinano comes out to guard her. Meyer being picked up early on the defense by Gabby Marshall. Bear tries to take it inside against Czinano. Twist, fires, and scores.
Boy, that's going to be a fun one to watch. That was a battle. They just moved out of the way and let the two centers go after one another. Maggie Bear with a nice up and under move.
Iowa 2-0. They've knocked off Southern 87-34 and set a school record with their 115 points against the 62 for Evansville. So they're 2-0. The Bulldogs are 1-0 following a victory over Green Bay on Monday night, 80-67. Hawkeyes with the first turnover. Bear pulls up between the circles. Dinnebeer and Clark. What a matchup. Great look inside to Bear.
That was set up so perfectly. Bear came to the top of the key. They looked for her. Czinano had to come out. Then got a back screen from Grace Berg to get her free underneath.
Megan Meyer battling a former teammate for the rebound and coming up with it for Drake. Dinnebeer lobs inside. Here's Bear once again, and this time she gets stuffed by Czinano, but recovers and scores.
This stayed right after it, didn't let down, found the ball, and nice little hook shot.
The lob over the head of Bear and into the hands of Czinano to score for Iowa.
And that's how you answer. You go inside to the player that shoots right around 70%. Get it over the top. Bulldogs did not get backside rotation defensively.
So far, a game of bigs. The Bulldogs go inside to small and still get a score from Katie Dinnebeer.
Probably the tallest player on the floor, the smallest player on the floor, but it was good rotation by the Bulldogs.
Clark forced to a turnover by Dinnebeer. She reached out with that left hand, tried to flick the ball away, and that forced the turnover. And these two have gone at each other before.
Yeah, we talked to Katie Dinnebeer earlier this morning, and she said, yeah, they've met up a couple of different times, and Dinnebeer with the nice rotation down, up and under, and they're going to go at Czinano, it looks like. They're going to try to get her into foul trouble, you would have to think, for as many times as they've gone after her.
Chris Dinnebeer played at Waukee High School and Clark at Dowling Catholic, so plenty of rivalries between those two as Clark slices in and scores for the first time. 64% of her shots in the first two games.
Yeah, and you can see how good of a ball handler she is, and they just isolate her on one side, let her go one-on-one.
Warnock took a tough screen that time. She goes down. Czinano clears the rebound. Clark pulls out for three and nails it. Clark, who got 30 points last time these two teams played 2 years ago in this building with a quick five.
No, she's so good, and she reads the defense so well. Instead of taking it all the way in, little sidestep out, clears herself, and gets the good look.
Bulldogs get the lob inside. Meyer tried to control it.
You can see Clark taking it in, looking like she's going to come back out and set it up. Lets the defense rest a second, and then pulls the trigger. She's so good at knowing exactly where everybody is on the floor.
Hawkeyes trying to take their first lead, go inside to Czinano. She can't finish. Grace Berg's got the rebound. Anna Miller's come in for the Bulldogs. They tried to slip the pass inside to Berg. Unable to control it is Warnock, so Drake gets it back. Miller off the post on the right baseline. The rebound is cleared by Kate Martin. As you see, she's playing with a mask, has suffered a second broken nose about 10 days ago. And she has the shot blocked by Anna Miller.
And Martin playing with that mask, and it's so hard to play with the mask. I'm not sure who gets the assist on that one. If the rim gets the assist on that one, that ball was tipped right off the rim, right back to Dinnebeer.
All she knows is she will take the basket, putting Drake up by three.
Take them any way you can get them in this ball game.
Warnock from the corner for three.
And that's the player you have to be aware of. She just kind of quietly goes about her business, knows where to be on the floor, and she will knock down big three-pointers.
Berg had a nice job to get the open shot and couldn't finish it, and the ball out of bounds off Iowa. Hawkeyes will make their first change, and Addison O'Grady, a sophomore from Aurora, Colorado, at 6'4", will come into the lineup. For the Bulldogs, Berg and Dennebeer lead. In to take their places, Taylor McCauley and Courtney Becker.
Get a look at that tipped ball right off the rim, right back to Dennebeer.
Meyer cranks a three. It won't go. Clark's there for the rebound. Clark pulls up, drills a three, and it's short. And the rebound run down by the former Hawkeye, Megan Meyer. Meyer racing into the front court against Gabby Marshall.
Marshall, one of Meyer's best friends on the team when she had her time at Iowa. The two of them were close friends and teammates, and now matching up against one another.
Now Molly Davis, who wears number 1, comes into the lineup for Iowa. She's the transfer from Central Michigan, and it'll be interesting to see how Caitlin Clark plays with a different point guard in the lineup, and now she becomes a 2-guard.
I think this just makes Iowa a little tougher. You have multiple players to guard. It gives Clark a little more free reign to move around on the floor, find different spots to get open.
The clear for Warnock. She misses that time. Courtney Becker runs down the rebound. Outlets to Meyer at midcourt. 5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Taylor McCauley, who missed last year with knee surgery, handles the basketball. Now Becker looks inside. Shot clock rolls down to 12 as Meyer tries to break down Marshall. Gets a screen and uses it to score.
And that's one of the things that Coach Bluder talked about. You have to understand how to handle that screen. You can't get too deep, and that's exactly what happened that time. Meyer was able to step back and knock down the three.
Meyer, newcomer of the year in the Valley a season ago after transferring from Iowa. Quick move to the basket by Davis, and she leaves it on the rim. And a long rebound over the head of O'Grady and picked off by Meyer. McCauley looking inside. Iowa, that player-to-player defense that they are known for. Driving the baseline, Becker to score, and the Bulldogs have taken great advantage of scoring in the paint.
They really have. It looks like that is kind of the initial game plan, that they're going to take it into the paint and try to challenge the bigs. Great pass by Caitlin Clark. Dribble drive, draw the defense. Nice little bounce pass, drops a dime over to O'Grady.
O'Grady, the recipient of the ball, a sophomore from Aurora, Colorado. Averages 4 points thus far for the Hawkeyes. Here's Meyer looking for 2 in a row, not this time. Anna Miller with an offensive rebound. Lisa Bluder directing the Hawkeye program for the 23rd year. Hard to believe it was 23 years ago that she left Drake for Iowa, and she is number 4 among active Division I coaches in victories with 821.
Yeah, quite impressive, and really did a great job here at Drake, building this program and then heading on over to Iowa and continuing to win. And that's all she really has ever done, is just win basketball games.
3-time Valley Coach of the Year during her stint at Drake, where she won 187 games. Hawkeyes with the ball, down by 3. O'Grady working the post right now against Bear. Sonano getting an early rest. Hannah Stolke, number 45, into the lineup for Iowa, and she's a freshman who the Hawkeyes are very high on.
Yeah, they say she has a lot of upside, and Caitlin Clark said she really just doesn't know how good she can be, and that's pretty high praise coming from Caitlin Clark.
She went to Cedar Rapids, Washington, committed to Iowa after her freshman year. Bear with the miss, but O'Grady on the foul.
Bulldogs continue to feed the ball inside to the post. We're going to get a substitution. O'Grady going to step out. Sonano coming back in.
O'Grady picking up 2 fouls in place of Sonano, so that change takes place and sends Bear to the free throw line. She's coming off a good opener against Green Bay the other night. 17 points with 6 of 10 from the floor, had 8 rebounds and a couple of steals.
The motion offense looked solid for the Bulldogs, and they are hoping that that continues here today.
Bear with 8 points in the quarter. That's exactly what she scored in the entire game the last time the Hawkeyes were here at the Knapp Center. Becker's got the rebound. Dennebeer leads the break. From outside, it is Becker on the miss, and the rebound is scooped up by Gabby Marshall, the senior from Cincinnati.
And you can see why Coach Bluder talked about the fact that they needed to get back in transition defensively, and they did a good job that time. Bulldogs did get a good look at it, got the rebound, and they were able to get down and get the ball to Clark.
Clark with a quick 7 for Iowa. Berg inside and puts it in. She's able to get around the freshman Stuelke to score.
Made a nice move, might have gotten away with a little bit of a hook around Stuelke to get to the basket.
Dinnebeer and Clark go to the floor. Dinnebeer with her second takeaway against Clark. Berg got the basketball. And there's a timeout called by Berg to save the possession.
Couldn't find anybody open, but that's two former Metro, Iowa, Des Moines Metro players going up against one another. Dinnebeer going after Clark.
Well, you said it about Dinnebeer at the start of our telecast. Same about Clark. Two players that just don't back down.
Yeah, neither player is going to back down, and you can see the Bulldogs spread the floor that time. Got Grace Berg open, and Dinnebeer just not letting up. She'll just stay after you. And all I know is I would never want to be guarded by Katie Dinnebeer for a full 40 minutes.
And that's twice in the first quarter that she has picked the pocket of Caitlin Clark.
She just doesn't back down. She's small, but she's mighty, and she understands when to try to take that chance to get in and knock the ball away on the dribble.
And though she may be the best athlete in her family, she's not the best golfer.
She is not. Her brother's a pretty darn good golfer. Her dad's a golf professional.
Berg looks inside. Nice cut by Meyer to score. Really good cut by Megan Meyer to get her second basket.
Meyer's so good at going back door and really knows how to read the defense. Got the step on Stuelke and was able to get to the hoop.
Sonato gets the feed inside, and Bear fouls her.
Bulldogs wanted to make sure they had good motion, good rotation, backdoor cut. Everybody has their eyes up looking for a teammate. This is Iowa's biggest deficit of the season.
Warnock back into the lineup for the Hawkeyes, and Stuelke will leave. As Sonato knocks down the free throw, she has led the nation in field goal percentage the last 2 years, and 13 of 18 in this young season, averaging 5.5 rebounds as well. Honorable mention, All-American.
You know, Iowa, as everybody remembers, Megan Gustafson, who played here several years ago, they have had a player that has led the nation in field goal percentage for the last 5 years. So that tells you how dominant they have been in the post.
And it's the former Drake assistant Jan Jensen who works with the big players.
She did it so well here at Drake with their post players, just carried on that coaching over to Iowa.
Screen set by Bear. Dinnebeer pitches off for Berg, looking for three. It falls short. And underneath, Bear gets tied up with Sonato in the battle for the rebound. And the foul goes against Maggie Bear. And Bear draws her second.
That's something that the Bulldogs were hoping would not happen. They need to have Bear on the floor for them. And we're going to get a good look at two players just battling for position. Missy Brooks felt like maybe Bear had a little bit too much of Sonato's arm.
Lob inside from Clark to Sonato. That combination has worked so effectively for seems like so many years now.
Yeah, it really has, and great move on the inside by Sonato.
Rebound taken down by Kate Martin. Martin considered one of the glue players on this squad. Maybe she doesn't get the headlines the others do, but she's significantly important to the Hawkeye attack. Clear out for Clark, drives in, and gets fouled by Meyer and has a chance at an and one.
Meyer trying to stay with her as she drives the baseline side. Gets a little bit of a screen, bodies up, and just couldn't get enough of the basketball to stop and give up that and one.
Well, so many things, so many plaudits for Caitlin Clark. First team All-America this season, first team All-America last season. So many great honors in her career and more to come. She misfires on the free throw, unable to complete the three-point play. But the ball went out of bounds off Drake, and so it's a chance for Iowa to cut into a Bulldog lead, in fact, to take the lead if they score. Molly Davis to trigger. Has been a starter all her career until coming to Iowa, and now working off the bench, which she knew she would do. She drives the baseline, kicks it off. Marshall finds Martin. Hawkeyes moving it well, really well, till Sonato gets open, puts up a hook shot and scores. Great ball reversal by Iowa that time.
And they were very patient as they moved the ball around a couple of times. Players get the ball in their hands, looked to maybe shoot it, but gave it up, made the pass.
Drake down by 1, down for the first time in the ball game, and the Hawkeyes are on an 8-0 run as the quarter draws to an end and the Bulldogs play for the last shot. Dinnebeer with the kick from McCauley. 2 seconds on the clock. Bird drives and scores. Drake takes the lead on the Bird layup at the end of the quarter and after 1 period of play, and it was a really well played first period.